When we exited the forest, alarms set off my mind. The city I had lived in my whole life. It was gone! You've got to be kidding me. If I wasn't in Sakino Dishi, then where the hell was I? Hey, no talking. Come on, I don't want to bother you that much. Kinda. Maybe a punch or two. I just want to know how the heck you blocked my strike so easily. Your attack had a lot of power behind it, but it was kind of predictable. With the right movement and enough force, that's the result you get. Anyway, I'll play along for a bit. Where in the world are we? This clearly isn't my hometown. I mean, the buildings look more like they come from some sort of classical samurai movie. Huh? What the heck is a movie? This is Harumaru. It's been here forever. Hikage, I thought I told you to silence him if he spoke again. Actually, you told me that I could, but you didn't tell me that I had to. Must be tough being a subordinate of someone like that. Be quiet, or I will silence you for good. This time it didn't seem to be idle threat. The girl had unsheathed her katana and was now resting the edge of the blade against my throat. I was already starting to regret having played a hero earlier. Hopefully there would be someone with more common sense in the village. Several minutes later. I soon found myself confined within a small room. The stern-looking tsundere, I never learned how to pronounce that word, of a girl glaring down at me, while the other girl, who was apparently named Narumi, seemed to have softened up a little. From what I had gathered during their conversations, they had called the village elder to help oversee my questioning. What purpose did these thieves have? Or are you just some pervert who gets off sniffing girls' pant undies? I ought to castrate you! I already told you. If you actually, you see these lips? There are words coming out of them. If you listen to those words, maybe you would understand. I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Not to mention, anything worn by you would probably smell sour. I couldn't see too well from the cell where they had put me, but I was almost certain I could hear Narumi laughing nearby. Oh, Sukino Dono. Please calm down? Wait, what? I believe it's calm down? Sukino Dono, please calm down. You brought him in to learn the research. The research. What is wrong with me today? The reason behind his presence in the forest, didn't you? Oh! This is correct, Elder Sama. I believe he was working together with the fox spirits to steal, panties and other undergarments. Objection! Huh? What are you objecting to, young man? The evidence surrounding defendant's accusation was fabricated. Narumi-san, would you please answer this question for the judge? Was the defendant, that is, myself, anywhere near the girls while the two were in pursuit of them? Hold it! Just what? Who are you calling a judge here? Lower your voice or I'll strike you down. Hey, Maya-san, maybe the whole angry accusation thing isn't working. This guy clearly isn't a bandit. We could just ask him why he was up there in the forest. In the trees. Standing there. And then running at us for no reason. If he had a valid reason, then sure. If not, then he's clearly a pansy thief, and we'll use him as a punchy pad out in the yard. Finally, and here I thought this was about to become a turnabout case. I'm not sick. Why am I sniffling a lot? Weird. I sighed deeply, partially amused by my own act despite the seriousness of the situation. Who would have ever thought mimicking characters from games and movies would end up getting me out of trouble? Yes, because mimicking Phoenix Wright is totally going to work all the time. I dare you to do that in a real court case, in real life, and see if shouting objection at somebody and overruled the witness's statement shall stand, is going to work. As long as I didn't become an ace prisoner, things are hopefully turned out for the better. A wise idea, Narumi-chan. How about you start by giving us your name? Gushiken Takahiro.
So, what were you doing in the forest when those two were chasing the thieves?
I'm not entirely sure myself. One moment I was praying at a shrine hidden inside the forest. Next thing I knew, some weird girl was talking to me.
A girl?
Yes, a girl. Can you hear me? Oh, you're old. Sorry. Yes, a girl with horns and a tail. I know it sounds weird, but I could have sworn I saw her before. I must have fainted. After that, I woke up somewhere the forest. My grammar Nazi brain is going off the deep end. It is like seriously exploding. Somewhere in the forest. Yeah. Maybe triple checking your grammar before you make a game is going to help. Oh my gosh, I did it again. I gotta stop doing that. I'm using the space bar to go between dialogue. And I'm using a laptop, so I have a touchpad right here. And it's like super close to the spacebar, so if I actually skip something, I'm sorry.
Forgive me, Omo-sama, I do not recall.
I forgot what he said before. I'll show like a little bit of what he said beforehand. Or you could just pause it when the last time. It'll make it easier.
I know it's a place of high spiritual energy, a sacred place, but I can't remember the details. Sorry, grandfather. The shrine belongs to Sayuri.
Okay, now I'm confusing both of their voices, but it kind of works because he's the grandpa. But, I don't know.
A shrine belongs to Sayuri, a powerful spirit that has been...
How about I make him Batman? Yeah, let's make him Batman.
A powerful spirit that has been watching over our village for as long as anyone can remember. Unlike the fox spirits, we tend to avoid going too deep in the forest. A Batman.
Oh, he's Bruce Wayne in Batman, The Brave and the Bold. Yeah, let's go with that.
I think I should get rid of this pest once and for all. If you would just let me go in and find their home. It's probably hidden in some damp cave in the hill, or some run-down old house. Humans and spirits rarely mingle, even if they meet with good intentions. The fact that this lad says he saw a spirit means there is a chance he was there for a reason. Not to mention, did you take a good look at him yet? He seems disoriented and his clothes look foreign. He did seem to be talking gibberish earlier. He claimed to be from a city near here, but there's nothing like that around for miles. He was also talking about something called a movie. He used some fighting techniques that I had never ever seen before. He's still a pervert!
I'm not a pervert. It's perfectly natural for a girl... I say girl. A guy my age to be curious about certain things. Well, while I will defend, yes, it is curiosity, and it did happen by accident, but if he did it on purpose, that was a complete BS move. Don't do that again. You were an idiot if you do. Life lesson number 1. Let's go. Besides, if you're talking about how the panties end up on my face, I had nothing to do with that, Sadiri tyrant.
What did you call... Did you just call me? I had to smash you to pieces, you brat! Oh, wait. Now that I think about it, those two foxes did look like they were just abandoning them. But grandfather, what does all this mean? What do the panties mean? I can't be certain. However, I believe it is unlikely that he's working with the fox spirits. Still, I have never heard of any human to come upon a spirit such as Sayuri. I dare say he might not even be of this world.
Wait, are you trying to say that I'm in a different world now?
That would be the most logical explanation.
In what world would that be considered logical? Older Japan where samurais run free, maybe? Maybe the things you were looking at right now? I don't know. But I have an important tournament to participate in 2 weeks from now!
Well, no one has ever experienced something like this before. We'll have to think of how to deal with you, or if it is even possible to get you back to your own world. In the meantime, a night in the cell won't hurt. He did assault a village guard, and he did resist arrest. He can stay here until he rots for all I care, but I suspect the elder will wish to have a talk with you soon.
He's right there. Well, if you two leave, I can have a conversation with him alone. Or something, you know, it's just, I don't know.
Hikage, I'm going to clean myself off. I suggest you do the same.
I would take offense for implying that I stink. That was one hell of a run.
Those fox spears run fast. I would still like to know more about those techniques, Takahiro-san. If you do happen to stick around, I might want to get a few rounds with you.
It's not like I'm going anywhere for the time being.
It is only for a few hours while we discuss what to do with you. A person such as yourself would end up causing quite the commotion amongst the villagers, so it is necessary to convince them that you mean them no harm before we release you.
And that was how I found myself stuck in a jail cell, while the person responsible for my situation left to deal with the personal matters. Or errands. Whichever one comes first. Have you finished those errands? Errands? It sucks. As if being sent to a different world wasn't bad enough. I'm stuck in jail with my own company being a pair of beautiful, magnificent, majestic fox girls, you lucky boy. A pair of beautiful... Wait a minute, that voice sounds so familiar. Wait a second.
Yeah! Yahoo! Hi there, panty boy!
A familiar face appeared at the top of my cell, a blonde girl with golden eyes. As I watched, she flipped over and landed in front of the cell, waving her hands at me. From the side of the cell, another girl appeared, a wry grin on her face. Ah, it's the panty thieves! If you're here to reclaim your hostages, they are already back where they belong.
Nope! We saw the guards go into the bath and swipe the maid's silk again! Look!
With that, she pulled out a pair of lacy silken underwear with her sleeve, from her sleeve, and stretched it out with her thumbs, showing off her panty prize to me. You came all the way here to snatch your underwear again? I'm not sure the Sadira Tyrant fits that label.
The cutie with the katana? You would be surprised. I happen to believe that she is as innocent as one can be. She seems far too uptight to let any man touch her. As for returning to the village, we have a debt to settle.
I smiled weakly as I wondered what the fox meant by debt. I'm not sure what this debt of yours might be, but I think you better leave before those two return. You don't seem to be on friendly terms with the samurai girls.
Wait! If he doesn't know about it, we could just leave Onisama.
Of course, she's the dick.
Maheko, that's not how we do things. Young man, your actions allowed us to escape our earlier predicament without harm. This places us in your debt, for which we are now repaying you. We're not going to replace you. Yet. Maheko, do the magic.
Magic.
Okay!
The young girl walked forward and placed her hands on the locked door of the cell. She began mambling. That's totally what it says. Mambling. Something that I couldn't even begin to understand. And her hands began glowing brightly. Different worlds, girls wielding weapons, and now fox girls using magic. Next on the list, I'm going to find a talkative magic sword and end up destined to save the world. I'm still thinking that this is the Familiar of Zero reference. Could be Familiar Zero, could be I don't know. That's the only anime I know of that has a talking sword. I probably know a lot of other ones. I just can't remember off the top of my head. That said, I was curious to see what this magic would do to the lock keeping me imprisoned.
Hey-ya! Ha! Ha!
The glow flared for a moment before quickly fading. There was a hiss, and then a sizzle. As a lock dripped to the floor in a mess of melted metal. Dang, she got some sick fire powers.
Well done, Miyako-chan. You did very well. Relax for now, right?
I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be. Supposed supposed to be the most surprised about? The fact that a girl just melted a steel log, or that I'm starting to accept this as being normal. I swear, I feel like somebody's behind me, like, watching me.
His level of magic is extraordinary. Magicka-chan is quite gifted. But as I said, we are here to settle our debt. If you would like, we could escort you back to this forest where we first encountered you. I do, however, suggest that you decide quickly. The guards do not parade for long. I should know. I have observed them for a while.
Well, I don't plan on sticking around, so I'll gladly accompany the two of you out of here. Well, it could be I'll or I'd. It works both. Maybe I'll be able to find my way back home. Lead the way, Peeping Tammy.
Machiko. Sakurano Machiko. Not Tammy.
Takahiro, but I suggest we keep the introductions for later.
Very well then, Taka-kun. Follow.
As I was stepping out of the cell, the sound of a familiar voice boomed in the distance.
Thieves! Crafty fox kleptomaniacs! I'll skin you alive!
I think that's our cue to get out of here. And with that, the three of us darted out of the prison. And that is where I will end the first hour recording of Sakura Spirit. Hopefully this one does not get corrupted. Hopefully! Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna have to end this episode here because I gotta get ready for school, you know. I had an hour to record. It's fun. It's still good. I didn't make it to exactly the same place as I did last time when I did an hour of recording because of sidetracking and side questing. I don't know. Whatever you want to put it as. But I thank you guys a lot for sticking through all this. I will be making more in the future because, you know, I am obliged to play the rest of this because somebody got it for me. And I made a promise that if somebody gets me a game, if I'm able to record, I will record it. If they give me a game that's 2-player, you can play online, you can play it with me and stuff like that, you know, stuff like that. So, this is Axel Scratch playing Sakura Spirit. I never thought I would. After I heard a Katawa Shoujo, I saw this. I was like, there's no way I'm going to play this. Thanks a lot again, Gogeta. Thanks. Link to his channel is in the description, even though he has no videos right now. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye!